We're back. Oh, we're so back, guys. I think, okay, hold on. I thought I could hear the stream. We're so back. I'm back. I have been, God forbid, very busy for the past few days. Super busy. I've also just been taking a break, so I've had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for everyone that has been very patient. If you're just tuning in, hello, my name is Morris. I'm an analyst, I guess. Not really an official one at that, but I'm an analyst, so that exists. But today, it is time for the predictions, guys. You already know what time it is. 12 teams remain in this called the Abyss, and only one will win. There is a chance for new champions to rise. I believe 10 of these teams, sorry, actually 9 of these teams, have yet to win a championship. But you have, I think, GR, Wolves, and Zeta who have won before. Zeta being the last year's champions. So, I have accepted that this is my circus, and these are indeed my clowns. Yeah, welcome to COA. This was by far one of the most interesting groups yet. I think there were a lot of things that made this group interesting. Of course, the first one, right? B4U making it to playoffs. The first time NAE made it to playoffs since the format was introduced in COA 5 and then changed slightly in COA 6 when they added 20 teams. I believe this is the first time we're seeing B4U officially make it to playoffs. So good job on them. Second thing is FENNEL being the first seed out of the other three Japanese teams that were in this tournament. Um, this was very surprising as well. I mean, FENNEL is not really considered to be the best out of the four Japanese teams, but they have absolutely shown in their bracket at Group C and has been amazing. And then the third is, of course, Wolves, I think. Qualifying was a very interesting one, and Weibo Gaming first. Because first off, Wolves qualified from a 1 to 3, so it was a tie between GG and X Team. It was determined by, I think, point differential or round differential. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. I think it is round the differential though. And then Weibo Gaming, first seed over RC over TE, despite quite the shaky qualifiers. Very impressive stuff from Weibo Gaming. But now it is time. Yeah, FENNEL has locked in. I literally made a video. FENNEL has indeed locked in, and no one believed me when I said FENNEL was gonna go first. That absolutely hit. Glad to know that hit. But now, 12 teams remain as previously mentioned, and only one will win. So who will it be? We're gonna go over each and every I guess group. So we'll start first. There we go. We'll start first by working here, right? Let's start first by working on this first group. In the, I think, official game, it is the top left group in the graphics, but I used the Wikipedia page, so there's that. Anyways, yeah, my predictions did not hit, so take this with a grain of salt. Let's start first with Zeta Division versus Trace Esports. Now, this I will actually, yeah, okay, no, I'll just keep it as white. I was thinking about changing the color. This feels like a clear win for Zeta Division for just a couple of reasons. I can't zoom in. Hold on. There we go. So let me just put it like that. So, yep. Zeta Division clearly wins against Trace Esports, and I think there's a couple of reasons why we can deduce this. So let's start first with I think the most important thing, which is I think TE, and I said this before, just a very average team. They're just very average. When we saw their match between RC, it, we tend to think that when teams lose, it is because, maybe there's an improper band picks, maybe just because they had a bad day. But it felt like that entire match was like, especially when it was Pipe hunting and RC Survivors playing, it really was as simple as Trace Esports is not as good as RC. And I think same case will happen here between TE and Zeta because Zeta is quite um a strong team, quite a strong team. Actually very similar to Reject in that regard. Zeta is just a better team. There's nothing really else worth mentioning between these two because there's not really any way Trace Esports wins this other than Zeta throwing. The real point is like if Trace wants to win, they just have to rely on Zeta having a bad day. Otherwise, they just won't win, which kind of is, it kind of sucks. Trace Esports not having duel anymore, like duel two hunters will kill them. Well, I don't think it would have even mattered, frankly. Like I mean, statistically, I think it was just they just Suda and Pipe had similar statistics. I think maybe Pipe had it slightly better. Or maybe it could have helped with the character pool. I just don't think though it would have mattered. Like the only thing I think makes the main difference is the fact that you would have had an Ivy, which would be great against Zeta if they ever tried to play hyper aggressive. But like it almost certainly would still be Zeta winning regardless. It's just the better team in that regard. But now we move on with FENNEL versus Zeta. I don't know if I should write Zeta down here. It's kind of hard to write, but FENNEL versus Zeta division, right? And this is the real talking point. So the main change this COA 9 is that this time around, quarterfinals is a BO5. And this is kind of huge because back then it was until semifinals, or at least semifinals is where BO5 starts. Now it's quarterfinals. So that kind of changes a lot of things because the BO5 starts significantly earlier. It also usually means that for the first seeds, there's less chance of getting upset, except in this scenario. So I've seen a lot of predictions on specifically between Zeta, Trace Esports, and FENNEL, and every time I talk to someone regarding about this bracket, it almost always feels like a consensus Zeta division will win. But I will actually go on a limb, and I will tell you now that my prediction actually has FENNEL taking it over Zeta, and I think there's a couple of things that we need to understand. FENNEL Survivors only has one weakness. In my opinion, FENNEL Survivors have been amazing. And FENNEL Survivors' main weakness is Ivy, which they faced all of the Ivies in Group C, funnily enough. And yet, despite the fact that they couldn't win a single match against Ivy, they would still proceed to win the entire bracket as the first seed. I feel like that really tells a lot about how good FENNEL Survivors are because despite like FENNEL Survivors and Hunters, because the fact that you're losing to the Ivy constantly and yet still coming out on top of your bracket and still winning all of your matches is very impressive on its own. Um, Personally, what makes this very difficult is Zeta just is a better BO5 team, um, which still is the case, I think. But in my opinion, I also personally think Zeta's hunters have not been as consistent. Zeta versus MRC was heavily defined by 3 rounds of Peter, I think, tying. And then the fourth round of Miko almost getting tree escaped, but then being a tie, but it was still a loss because you just didn't have the time anymore. And like if that's the level of hunter that's gonna come out of Zeta, then it's gonna be the biggest question, right? Like a lot of people tend to think that Zeta kind of has this in the books. When people talk about Zeta winning, it's because they have not only great survivors but great hunters. But we have to put it into question: is the survivors great? Because they played against a team that actually had good survivors at MRC, right? And then the other teams that they faced was B4U, it was LX and RT, all of which have weak survivors in my opinion. And when they finally went against MRC, all they could do is tie, and then they almost lost too. Definitely a bigger question in mind. Whereas in FENNEL, I mean, you had to go against CQ survivors and ACT as well, which is really solid. The other two not so much, but yeah, they were still doing pretty well. They were still, I think, they won against ZQ. I'm not sure about ACT, but they won against ZQ. I'm gonna assume they won against ACT too. Very evil s'mores. Oh my god. Evil s'mores. On topic of Ivy, Hasha Ivy is insanely scary. I think that's the thing. Hasha has many ways of making this difficult for Zeta to play hyper aggressively. We have to understand because when people look at Zeta, they look at the recency bias, and they tend to look at the second round, where they tree escaped Bailu's, I think was it Peddler? Bailu's Peddler, which is like very remarkable. It's an amazing game. Like Bailu got absolutely cooked that game. It's a very fair point to bring that match up. But at the same time, did we just forget that prior to that, Zeta actually got 3K'd in the first round against a GOAT? Like, there's definitely, like, it's also additionally, like, we also have to look at, like, for example, in their match against B4U, Zeta survivors, Kazuneko was inconsistent. That was one of the talking points about Zeta initially, especially since Zeta MRC was the last day, when we saw Zeta face B4U, just the inconsistency coming from the Zeta survivors were also put into question. So it's like, at the same time, it's like, this is that's the big question, right? There's just, but like, for FENNEL, it's of course, like, there's also other issues. Like I mentioned, Ivy. But if you look at it, Zeta does not have Ivy. Miko might have Ivy. Peter technically has Ivy, but none of these are played as high as a team like ACT, who ZZNan is like one of the top IVs, and then you also have Dongsha, who's also top IV. Trap, I think, is S badge. I'm not entirely sure, but and then who was the other team that they faced? I know they faced another team that also with IV. I think it was Pitt, and I mean there's that one though. But Zeta did play against the two strongest hunters, Bailu and Spencer. Um, ACT's being hella underrated right now, low key. Real talk with you. Um, but yeah, MRC Survivors not MRCing. Well, we'll get into MRC Survivors not MRCing. But I mean, MRC Survivors, you know, weren't like they still did really well against Zeta's Hunters. Like that's like the main thing you have to understand. Zeta could not win against MRC Survivors. And I personally think that like while FENNEL might be slightly worse than like MRC for sure, I do think that they're very underrated in their survivors. Definitely Zeta is a bit more advantageous, but if you want to get my predictions, man, FENNEL, I'm taking them to the semifinals, bro. That's why the title of the stream is called It's FENNEL or Nothing. I hope you like my profile picture. I can barely see that. Hold on. I am looking at it. Is that a can't tell is that the a Dream Witch thing? Where he kept Hui in the corner. I was thinking whether for a second I thought it was female dancer, but I just realized that's the Dream Witch. But yeah, ACT can beat Axis for sure. Um, we'll get into that later. But yeah, that's for my round 12 to semifinals. So I take FENNEL as the first team to make it to semifinals. So now we move on to the next one. And we'll start with, I think, the hardest one for me to predict. ZQ versus Wolves. I have to admit, a lot of teams really underlooked this because a lot of teams were like, Wolves lost to GG, Wolves went 1-3, they shouldn't have even made it here, and just immediately put ZQ, right? That's usually how people went about this. Let's start first by talking about how exactly Wolves made it 1-3. And the reason why that happened, right? Why did they lose against GG is a big, big question. Okay, I made a video. First off, they already discussed this, but GG made a really excellent adjustment. They put Chu in second round, and look at how problematic that was in the third round when they decide to let the Bonbon out instead of the Peddler. Now that's the main issue as well. They let the Bonbon out instead of the Peddler, which I think was one of the worst decisions that you could have done there. Um, Additionally, I did get tree escaped as well, but I think up to that point it was still very much tree escapable. But I think Wolves did have the lead. Like even if they just tied that game, they're still fine. They go to OT. But ZQ, bro, like sorry, Wolves rather. Wolves' ban pick screwed them over. And the way that you have to view Wolves today and their main issue, it's never been like, it's not about mechanical skill. It's not about, it's not about the fact that this team can't perform. It's the fact that this team just isn't optimized in terms of their ban picks. Because the way they view the game is still centered around the fact that 487 is still in the team, but that's just not true anymore. They just don't have that anymore. And in exchange, like they're kind of trying to run compositions that they would if he was still there, but like they can't do that because it just doesn't work for their players. And it's just you can see like it's not doing them favors at all. It's not doing them favors trying to think of the game like that. And we know how good Wolves of Survivors can be. Best example of this was Wolves versus Axis, right? The entire Moonlit game, the entire fucking Kakuri opera singer getting absolutely juked like a master, bro. Like it is diabolical, to say the least. Additionally, ZQ, their survivors, I think, are underrated though. ZQ survivors are underrated. A lot of people say that they're inconsistent, and I think this is true. But Sans might be one of the most underrated players right now. I personally really love Sans, bro. Like I enjoyed watching ZQ a lot this COA, specifically because of Sans. The entire clip at Lakeside Village against Pit Stoppers, that was absolutely hilarious, and I loved every second of it. Um, yeah, ZQ is a team that I think is much more inconsistent actually. And they were losing to, well, they did actually not lose to ACT, but I think they went overtime, and then they lost to FENNEL as well. And then they also lost, actually, they also got 3K'd by Robbie exploit. And I also think that just attributes to the fact that ZQ might not be so prepared for these specialty picks. That's because I'm not sure if they prepared against PRR or what. Because I mean, everyone, even Omni knew that they had a exploit. So like, I don't know why ZQ just let it loose, man. But yeah, I mean that could have gone south. It was very 4Kable for them. But yeah, I mean ZQ Survivor's inconsistent. Even their Hunter's inconsistent. Even Dongsha, like Dongsha is usually really good in my opinion, but I think against better Survivor teams, it's also a bit inconsistent. Wolves for me, I think the ceiling for Wolves is high because it's obvious that a lot of people are saying that Wolves is bad just because they're looking at that GG game where they lost. But you have to understand, prior to that, the GR I think wasn't too close. I think it was like 2-1 or 2-0, but it was like till 3 rounds basically. And then you had Axis, which they went overtime to. People are high on Axis. So like, this like to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to people are immediately being like, "Oh, it's not gonna be a good team," just because they lost to GG. They lost to GG because they let the bot out. Being like fully honest with that. Yeah, I know, right? We love the core gun, but yeah. This group stage was so interesting because nothing really went as people expected. Well, I expected FENNEL to go first. I think everything except for the Omni PRR thing, uh, hit on my Group C. So I saw that one coming. Group B and Group A absolutely went to shit, man. Well, my Group D as well, but I knew that was gonna go bad. So like, I kind of prepared myself mentally for that moment. But yeah, I'm taking Wolves here, and I think that's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be very surprised that I do. Um, I mean, in the end, I don't want to be like I mean, I'm kind of predicting here based on what I know. Like people are I've seen a lot of like I don't know how to best explain this, but I've seen a lot of people look at this very like base level, and I usually it probably will work in the end. But I mean, in the end, all I want to say is the FENNEL versus Zeta match, right, which I already mentioned, and the ZQ Wolves match is a lot closer than people give credit to. The ZQ Wolves match is not close, bro. I'm telling you now, this is not just a 2-0 sweep for ZQ. Like, people are so quick to be like, Wolves is not gonna be winning just because they lost to GG. That is diabolical, man. But Weibo Gaming versus Wolves, I'm sorry, Weibo Gaming takes this one. Too many reasons why Weibo Gaming looks so good. Um, I just think that funnily enough, the longer this game goes, the better Weibo Gaming might get, because I don't know how good COA would be at a later round against Weibo Gaming Survivors, because Weibo Gaming Survivors are really good at late round. That was actually when their first matchup in summer, I think exactly went like that, where I think Chai or I think Yavi got kind of cooked. The later it got, or was it Weibo? Was it Weibo Gaming and Wolves, or was it? I don't actually remember. But I think Weibo Gaming Survivors. It's so funny because Weibo Gaming Survivors get better as the rounds go longer, but their hunter kind of gets worse because the character pool is a thing. Now, Wolves can do the funny, and they could do the summer play where they have VAV playing in the later rounds, and if they do that, this could be very much a Wolves like qualification. But for the most part, Weibo Gaming looks solid. And yeah, it doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon, and honestly, I hope not, bro. So I'm gonna put Weibo Gaming. Yeah, Weibo Gaming woke up, and I'm almost certainly confident they can do well. Um, it's definitely a lot closer. I just don't know how exactly, because it feels like even if like I don't think Wolves is gonna get an early game advantage against Weibo Gaming's Hunter, yeah. But then at the same time, I don't think they're gonna get a late game advantage against Weibo Gaming's Survivors with like all the Seer picks, the Pharaoh Lady, the double decoder. I don't know, actually they don't run double, but like Seer, Fire Lady, even Batter, they brought up Batter before, like in IVL Autumn. Like this team, like it's so interesting. Weibo Gaming is like one of the most interesting teams. I think this is a bit closer. I'll probably get back to this later, but for now I'm putting Weibo Gaming because I'm pretty confident in that already. But yeah, Weibo Gaming versus FENNEL. Now Reject versus B4U. Yeah, nah. I think Reject. I put it like this: Reject is a minor team's kryptonite. There are just too many things you have to think about. B for you, it isn't even about whether they have the skill to keep up with Reject, because, well, to be fair, if you want the answer to that, they don't. But it's even if they did, the question is, bro, how do you prep for like 10 million different hunters, bro? Like real talk. Cause okay, Akka has now shown Hermit, Akka has now shown Dream Witch, Akka has now shown Meta, Akka has also shown Mad Eyes somehow. Or before, like way before, he even has Mad Eyes. Like how like as a minor team with not a lot of financial or organizational backing whatsoever, how do you prep for that? I I just don't know. It is such like B4U does amazing when teams are predictable. There is a reason IVS was their best run. The meta was very stable. The meta was very conclusive that, oh, Goldman round one, yada, yada, yada. And then they kind of they leaned against that. They go ahead and play Ivy round one as well. Like they kind of go against the grain. They go with this triple tide strategy. They go with like Explorer, Magician, all of that. Like they knew. Cause like they knew it was gonna be a Goldman regardless of what happens. They're just gonna spam Goldman, right? But like that's great against like teams that are like meta leading. Reject though, you try to full counter a Goatman. Oh no, Nightmare shows up and you get 4K because who the hell are you gonna practice Nightmare with? It is a nightmare to prep. It is an absolute nightmare. That is pun unintended, but I'm gonna run with that. It is a nightmare to prepare. Like it is, yeah, B4U's kryptonite, bro. I think in general, I think a team like Reject is a minor team's kryptonite. Because the more hunters you have to prepare for, the worse it gets for the like it becomes an absolute menace of a challenge for the coach. And usually major teams, right? Teams like Zeta, teams like MRC, they have organizational backing wherein they're getting a lot of extensive help. Plus, also the region just being really large and having a lot of people you can prep with for those situations, right? For example, like if we go at X Tube, like they when they practice, they go against like the number one hunter, like number one ripper out of nowhere, and they just do that for like hours on end. Like they have that ability, they have that organizational backing and also the capacity as the largest region for Identity V to do that. If you're a minor region team like B4U and NAEU, like how do you prep against like how do you prep against a nightmare? Like who are you gonna go against in like NAEU? Even if you are here now, like even if you are in the playoffs, like who among these teams are you gonna prep Nightmare with? Who among these teams are you gonna prep Hermit with, Mad Ice with, Clown with? We haven't even talked about Alf, Geisha, Bonbon. Okay, maybe Bonbon you could probably prep with a lot of teams. But like Geisha, like God forbid, bro, you have to prep with all of that. You also still have to remember Beta. It is an absolute killer for it is an absolute killer for minor region teams. Literally, like real talk, because I like B4U. Listen, I'm not the biggest glazer of B4U, but like, bro, they could have been anywhere else, and they had a better chance to get to top eight. They just had to face the biggest kryptonite. There's a reason Reject 2-0 B4U, bro. Like, this team is an absolute menace. Reject is winning against B4U. It is, I wouldn't even say contest. I mean, maybe before you would go to 3 rounds because Spencer, but like the survivors are just gonna be absolutely dealing like they're just gonna like the prepping nightmare just begins now. And also, actually, Reject Survivors also has a lot of things as well. There was an entire like fucking week or two where they were just experimenting with Lawyer, which by the way never worked out for them, but like yeah, I mean, just putting it out there. Dreamscape Nightmare. Yeah, any EU Nightmare. You think that's Aka's Nightmare, bro? On my life, bro. Aka's Nightmare was getting countered in like the IGL summer where they won. They started countering Aka's Nightmare and he still kept getting 4Ks, bro. Like it is just nasty work. Reject is bro, it's so hard to prep that. It's just like I feel like it's so difficult to prep that. If they prep it, bro, I'm just gonna be impressed if Reject preps it, but like or before you preps it. Yeah, I know, right? Like just so much. Like Reject is so tough to prep with. Anyways, going back, Reject versus GR now is a much more interesting conversation. Well, first off, what's the main thing we got to talk about? GR. Jin is the greatest hunter of all time. I am a Jin Glazer now. Um, I mean, I have been a Jin Glazer before, but I think I've never glazed Jin this hard. Jin is just at a whole other level. GR be winning some of these games because Jin just wins. But at the same time, surprisingly, their survivors haven't been as half bad, despite, Mr. Nepo Baby being there. Mr. Nepo Baby has done actually quite amazing. I saw a tweet that was like, is this guy like the best 34-star player in like the entire world? Like, I don't know, man. I mean, the way he's been playing, I mean, I can't help but give a bit of respect. And also just, I mean, the teammates also defending him, so I think the chemistry is there as well. City has also done pretty decent as well, and I personally have liked GR Survivor team. Not consistent, but pretty okay. Um, Definitely this one's the most interesting matchup because Reject versus GR is very, 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 very close. But I'm still taking Reject. I think I have a couple of reasons here, and there's going to be just a lot of. I think that there's two main reasons. First off, Hunter fatigue is always going to be a thing for the for single hunter systems. Jin will eventually falter to hunter fatigue. It is just an inevitability, and it's just going to be absolutely tough once they reach that point, once they go to like fourth or fifth round, yeah, I mean the hunter fatigue is gonna start hitting like crazy. But also, it's not even about Jin, it's about the survivors too. City and Zero are good survivors, don't get me wrong, but this is their first BO5. This is their first playoffs, actually. The pressure is immense at this level. It is not like anything on the group stage. It is going, you either win or you go home. It's that is not easy to ask for in a rookie, especially when the expectations on you is very high. Two rookies actually. Sorry. It is just that. GR is winning 2 or 3-0? Absolutely not. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a blowout. Evil Smart's here, bro. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, GR. I mean, Reject did have two bad matches, I guess. DFM seemingly, I think, is just like, I think the DFM stuff, because it's real talk, I love DFM, right? So I want to talk about DFM. I think DFM's good against, like, it's the local experience. I think they just really struggled against international teams, but like Reject has, I wouldn't say has always been bad, but DFM has definitely not been one of their easier matchups in general when we look at IJL. COA seems to always have DFM, or sorry, RC figured out. Also, happy birthday, COA. Man, love that guy. But um, yeah, I mean DFM is one of the teams that's kind of got to figure out. And Weibo Gaming is also on a run. I like personally think, but also like Greenwich, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I like that's just Weibo Game is also doing pretty well. So I don't think it's too much to say. Meanwhile, all GR's matches is actually relatively close. Against Axis, it was close. I think against GG, it was kind of a blowout, and against X Team, but then also against Wolves, it was close, somewhat. Most of the time, oh no, actually, X Team was close as well. Again, Jin carry in the entire fin. So like, it is not close. RC is gonna be taking it to the semifinals. And now we move on to the bottom. Axis versus ACT is surprisingly a lot tougher than it should be because ACT is a very underrated team. Still taking Axis Wave here though. Axis Wave I had as my number one seed initially, to you know to win entirety of Group B. Very bold guess, and it almost worked, but they couldn't close it out against GR. Um, Axis is super duper interesting though, in a sense. They've always been, I don't know, they're a team that they kind of hit a lot of Kahaka's cards. I think a lot of some of the matches that they lost was primarily because they were very adamant in holding Kakari all the way to BO3. I mean, they like I think it was yeah against Wolves specifically. Like Kahaka only showed up at the overtime. Like they were trying so hard to hide him, and it feels like in playoffs now, we're probably going to see it go back to Takaka at round three, and that would probably just do them wonders. Ice Wave also just generally pretty solid, like really good hunter team. Survivors have been inconsistent in my opinion, but they can pop off at times. ACT on the other hand, I mean they're kind of similar to TE, but maybe even more inconsistent than them. Um, can sometimes pop off, but I mean they're just I don't know. Axis is just a better team here. I like can't lie with you. Uh, no, it's all right. Also, I was reading it, but yeah, RC again. RC is a team that really benefits from the global bans because they could just pick a lot of non-metas early on, and that really opens a lot of choices. The one thing though is of course the question I think that needs to be addressed, and that would be Alph's meta pool because that was kind of what I wouldn't say sold them, but what eventually costed them. But it was definitely a contributing factor to them losing in the recent IJL autumn. Was and Alf kind of also mentions it, right? Because he said like, "Oh, I didn't have the Hala, and the Hala just wasn't good enough." Like he tweeted about it, and it was actually it's honestly really true. The Hala just not getting bad at all. I think that entire set between RC and Zeta is that was just not good. That was just not good. And so that's definitely going to be a big question because if RC were to ever face any other teams, it's like, will they respect the Hala? Will they respect the other meta choices? Will they counter for it, or will they just like start banning stuff like they start banning his Bonbon and then maybe like a Goatman or Kiwis, and then they just let the meta characters free? That is, can we see Soba Mind's Eye later round? Please, bro, don't do that, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. I need RC to win this. But anyways, Axis over ACT is gonna be my number. Is gonna be my go-to here. MRC versus Axis is very simply MRC. MRC is just a really good team right now. Um, MRC Hunter Bailu is insane, but also the survivors. At the same time, I saw a really good tweet about this. It was a Chinese commentator. It was a Chinese commentator. I forgot his name. Why did I forget his name? Um, but MRC, right? Here's the thing. Here's what you need to know about MRC. MRC is MRC, which means that if they are MRC, they should probably win this thing. But at the same time, they're MRC, so they might lose very early. Okay, my microphone died, so you are hearing a very terrible version. Oh my god. Okay, hello, 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 hello. Give me a few minutes, guys. Um, my mic is not doing me favors. My mic just randomly died. Hold the. Oh my god. I'm really sorry if you're getting ear raped right now. Very sorry. Mic kind of just died. Hold on. Oh no. Dude, where is. Okay, hold on. Let me figure out something. We're gonna go on a quick intermission. Hold on. We are back. I think I gotta do this fast. I'm gonna pray to God doesn't break again. All right. Okay. Where was I? MRC versus Axis Wave. Yeah, MRC wins this. Abila's just really good hunter. Nanako has been absolutely insane. But you have to remember MRC is MRC. So either MRC is going to do MRC things and win the entire thing, or MRC is going to do MRC things and they're going to proceed to absolutely throw this match. Still, though, I'm very confident that MRC is no longer MRC and that MRC is actually new MRC, which is a whole lot better than old MRC. Does that make sense? It's MRC. Anyways, real talk though, it's just me saying that MRC is hella inconsistent and MRC has a history of choking. For a team called Miracle Gamings, they sure be giving the miracles to every other team but themselves. Anyways, yeah, MRC doing MRC things. But now we get to the top four, and for the top four, I'm just gonna write it down. Let me just, okay, let me do it like this. Let's, does that, I don't know if that worked. Did that work? Oh, I see it. FENNEL, so that we could properly visualize it. Okay, hold on. How do you do this? FENNEL, we are going Weibo Gaming, WBG, and then here we have RC. Okay, hold. This is kind of really tough, but we have RC, and then we have MRC. Okay, I'll start first with the top one. This one is going to be a bit shocking, because again, FENNEL versus Weibo Gaming. No one's even thought of this semifinals. But if you do ask me between FENNEL and Weibo Gaming, who do I think is gonna win? I think Weibo Gaming will be making a finals appearance. And FENNEL, I'm gonna put here, hold on. And the reason why is because we have to look back at what FENNEL is very weak at. It's the Ivy. Weibo Gaming has an Ivy. But outside of that, I think Weibo Gaming just is a bigger trouble to a team like FENNEL. And the reason why I put that out is because FENNEL can get away with playing very fragile. Not only that, FENNEL isn't like they aren't incentivized to like run super harass heavy comps, which I think FENNEL gets a lot of advantage of because you have stuff like Dreamwitch, you have stuff like Ivy, where those characters aren't super problematic against the super aggressive compositions because you just have ways to kind of stop that from happening. Of course, like if you're Dream Witch, you can stop the harass by just having two followers. If you're Ivy, I mean, they literally can't look at you. That usually kills a lot of the stronger harassers in the game, which is usually just problematic. Meanwhile, though, for Weibo Gaming, that isn't really the case. Weibo Gaming typically heavily relies on this composition where they do run supports like Seer, like Priestess, but these are softer supports as I call it, because they're not as aggressive. You're not forced to play as aggressive as if you were playing a harasser. And this isn't as weak to FENNEL's character pool. And FENNEL can like since FENNEL's peddler main is typically on the first round, albeit Hush can also play the character. That usually means that you don't have the peddler to then counterpick against it, unless Tasha wants to go peddler. But then Weibo Gaming is also just really good, like just in general in those matchups. The main point I think I'm trying to say is that Weibo Gaming's character pool is going to be better against FENNEL's hunters. And then you also have Nanya Ivy, which I think is just going to be problematic for FENNEL. So I actually have Weibo Gaming going to the finals, which is surprising because a year ago I said that I'm not a Weibo Gaming Glazer, yet here I am putting them at the finals here. The funny thing is, if Zeta were the one to qualify, it would be Zeta in the finals. But because I put FENNEL over Zeta, I do think FENNEL does eventually thin out here on this match between in their match against Weibo Gaming. Now, RC versus MRC is a lot closer. Very similar actually to RC versus GR, wherein you have just the fact that GR is also one of the Chinese teams. The difference though is Bailu is slightly weaker than Jin, but MRC survivors are slightly stronger, and no rookies as well. So this is a lot closer because it isn't like, oh well, the rookies are pressured to win all of this. But if you ask me who I think is gonna win, you already know who I'm gonna put. It's time. RC, I'm very confident will make the playoffs. The main reason I think I will be putting this is because MRC does MRC things, but more importantly, if Jin is someone that I said would suffer from fatigue, Bailu suffers from it, in my opinion, significantly worse. When MRC won against GR, this, in my opinion, I mean, there was, I think that Leo's memory game where, I mean, Bailu went crazy, but I think it was attributed also to the fact that MRC survivors were just better than GR. But in this case, now you're facing RC, which is not gonna suffer through that fatigue a lot more, and has made it quite far before, has made it this far before. They made it to the finals before. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think I'm taking RC. My main concern is, funnily enough, Alf. Alf, and I guess Fuku as well, but honestly, not really, because just how good Unp is. But Alf, it can be kind of like, in no offense whatsoever, it can choke. It's really coming from international pressure. But even then, just Akka, like the great advantage of RC is even if one of their hunters don't do good, the other can really just help, can really pull relieve the pressure. Great stuff. The great thing about two hunter systems, right? So now, with that top four, with the finals, let's start first with the third place match. So I will be putting FENNEL at fourth. I am a true believer of FENNEL, but even I know that this team is not winning against MRC. Oh, don't do that. Let me just fix that. So I'm gonna put this team at fourth. Fourth. Boosh. MRC is just a better team in my opinion. And so MRC I will put at third. Okay, I lied. I'm just gonna okay, I can't even do that anymore. Give me a sec. So let me just write it down. There we go. I'm just gonna put text instead. It's really tiny to do that. And of course, as with all traditions, whoever is the first place team, third place team rather, would have faced the first place team prior to the match. And you know what that means. I am banking it all. Not just on FENNEL making it to the semifinals in the first place, but on RC winning the entire thing. RC right now, still my favorites to win regardless of anything. This team has made it this far before. The only team that I think can beat RC is Zeta, but I think Zeta's gonna lose to FENNEL, and so they will probably win the entire thing. But yeah, RC, I will be going. Yeah, always bet on Reject, always bet on RC. I think they will be winning it, especially if Zeta were to get upset. If Zeta does make it to finals, though, it's definitely a lot closer. But if this is how things go, which I'm confident, I will be putting RC first. Weibo Gaming second, MRC third, and FENNEL F the fourth. But yes, I am very confident though that I think Weibo Gaming will make it to grand finals. Actually, I'm betting that we're making a grand finals right here. Even if Zeta wins, I think Weibo Gaming is kind of getting underrated because they're kind of this team that is known to choke a lot. FENNEL is gonna lock in and sweep. I do wish that were the case, man. But if you want me to be a bit realistic, bro, FENNEL is gonna at least make it, maybe make it to semifinals, but definitely not win the entire thing. That'd be crazy. But dude, I hope it happens. Honestly. But yeah, FENNEL will lock in and at least make it to semifinals, which is gonna be already insane on its own because they would have to beat probably Zeta to do that. and FENNEL does struggle against Zeta. I think another thing that could happen is Wolves finals. I think Wolves finals is very possible. I think ZQ finals is very possible. I think literally any team except for Trace Esports at the top two brackets, like between these six teams, can make it to the finals. Like any team except for Trace. I want to see NAE win a trophy. Well, sure, man. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I do think that the story also is just gonna be great if RC wins. Especially for Alf. I really wish Alf can win a trophy, man. It would be amazing. Especially after all the hard work, right? After everything that's happened, I think he deserves a COA trophy, man. But yeah, RC first. I truly believe in that. I think even like I just think this team is just gonna be a menace in a BO5, and so I'm gonna always put them here. Uh, and yeah, I mean that's it. Like also RC won the last international IVS, right? So like that's not a good indicator, but like I mean I'm taking it. So Spencer's gonna pull out his lizard. Anton is gonna pull out Mad Eyes, guys. He said it before on stream, or not on stream, but on a video. He's gonna pull out Mad Eyes. We just aren't ready for it yet. But yeah, these are my predictions. Um, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really know what else to say, to be honest with you. 9 years in identity, you've never seen an IVT team win an international trophy. It'd be really funny. It'd be really if that B4U wins the entire thing. Albeit, I'm sure they aren't gonna win the entire thing. But it's just for me, it's just funny because Rival, right, used to sponsor the team, and now then they pulled out, and then they won IVS right after. So imagine if they win COA right after as well. So you pulled out like the worst time at that point. They proceeded to win so much prize money from all of that. But yeah, that is my predictions. I don't know what else to talk about on stream. Uh, do yeah, no, I don't know. These are the only things I could think about. These, but yeah, RC, I'm very confident can win. So, well, I mean, dude, is this the right one? Oh, this is not the right one. That's also the wrong one. Don't, okay, please don't play the music. Thank you. Anyways, you feel they'd be the best. You're here, low-key hating. Evil s'mores, man. You and I are on some beef, man. You cannot call RC overrated. I think if you want to tell me, you want me to tell you what team I think is overrated, I think Zeta's overrated right now. Because people just said that, like, oh, Zeta's gonna sweep till semifinals. I really don't think, or till grand finals, and I really don't think that's gonna happen. I really think Zeta might lose. So, like, they lost to DFM. It's 2 games. I it's 2 games. And also, like, you also have to look at it like, oh well, Wolves lost 3 games, but like I don't know, they were all close games, right? And then you also like, well, ZQ placed second. They should win the entire thing, but they went overtime against ACT. Axis went overtime against Wolves. Reject, or sorry, not Reject. Zeta went overtime against MRC. Then their survivors got cooked by Spencer, and then I think they tied against Karai, even though MRC I think tree escaped Karai. Is it tree escape? I don't remember, but like you can make the case for any team. Disingenuous to be honest with you. Weibo Gaming, but people say like, oh well, Weibo Gaming 2-0 at RC. Like, I don't know if that tells less more about RC being. I think that tells less about RC being bad. It tells more about Gaming being really good right now. Real talk with you. I think that tells less about Reject being bad and more about Weibo Gaming being a good team. People have been sleeping on Weibo Gaming. And Reject had some great games. Yeah, it's like low-key recency bias though. In my opinion, I think it's recency bias. It's that's the same logic that people say why Zeta's gonna just win the entire thing. Like get to finals. Like, oh, Zeta had that match against Bailu. Their survivors are great, but like prior to that they were getting cooked by Spencer. So like recency bias, real talk. Like recency bias. Like it's very inaccurate because it's just recency bias. Oh, Wolves is a bad team because they lost to GG. But like no one asked how. How did they lose to GG? They lost because they let his bonbon out. Okay, so there's a very easy fix to that. Don't let the bonbon out if you go against GG. Or don't let the surprise pick, the specialty pick come out if you're fucking Wolves, right? Easy fix. That's why I think Wolves' ZQ is a lot closer because people just say, oh, ZQ just wins this and it's not gonna be close. That's not the case. That's not the case at all, right? So like I don't know. I don't like Axis versus ACT is also close too. Even though I did put Axis in the end. ACT did go overtime against CQ. ACT did get one round against FENNEL. ACT also did pretty decent against the two minor region teams. Albeit I think slightly worse than the other two. But definitely underrated because like they did keep it close like, in most of their matches and ZZ9 was also looking really decent. Survivorship just surprisingly the more problems this time. Seems it's always with ACT. It's always like it could always switch up between the hunters being kind of inconsistent or the survivors being inconsistent. It's always gonna be one. But yeah, there's that. I mean, there's other stuff that we could talk about. There's also, I guess, we could talk about the other teams. Kind of sucks. LX, man, tough. Bro. Yeah, because ACT made playoffs or ACT made it to COA already. They only lock in when they haven't made it to COA. They need the money first. And once they get the money, they're like, okay, we could chill for another year. The ACT, man. With ACT and COA qualifiers, bro. It is an ACT thing. ACT is just ACT is that one team. Um, when it comes to COA qualifiers, you're like the best team on the planet, and then they get into the COA group stages and they just became completely average. God. Um, Alex RT in my opinion had become my favorite team by the way. I like just talking about COA group stages. Um, most lucky team. They went against Ace. They went against GG. I think. Did they go against GG? Yeah, they did. And then they went against Weibo Gaming. You see where Weibo Gaming's at right now. It's like, if you think about it, it's not so lucky. Like they really were just like the better team that day. And Weibo Gaming just drew like two games straight. But yeah, crazy concept, bro. I swear, no ACT, bro. Like, the way you gotta think about ACT is they do well as soon as they realize they're about to go bankrupt. That's how you know. But they've already made enough money. They already got to COA. They already made money. So they're chilling now. That's good. That's how you gotta know. I really, dude. For Group A, AR, they're a good team, I guess. They did keep it very close. Against TE, I felt bad. I think I probably was crying. Um, but yeah, I'm among the Southeast Asian teams. I like RT a lot more right now. I mean, in AR, I do like Yuki though. Shout out Yuki. But like an RT, oh my God, RT, bro. RT was they were such a concept. They were such a concept. I don't know what to talk about because AR, I wouldn't say AR has controversy, but I think it was like Kokuryu who talked about it on his stream. very recently about some very old controversy between AR's coach and DFM if DFM's coach if I'm correct. I'm not entirely sure, but like that's how I understood it. There's like some beef. Because Kokoye was streaming about it the other day. But yeah. Um RT though, oh my god, I've RT was like watching RT was entertaining even though they kinda suck. Use upon running Hermit every damn time like he doesn't have other mains, bro. I fucking cried, bro. I don't even think he picked Hala. What is this lore? It's so deep into the Japanese like community that it's like so hard to get info about it. But I think Kokuryu streamed because I remember seeing this, but like Kokuryu streamed. It was like the DFM AR match, and apparently there were some implications. Yeah, RT got hard nerf. It's so unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's just tough stuff, man. Uh, PRR, I feel really bad as well. Um, I just feel really bad in general. Like the team should have not placed fifth. Oh, that was tough shit. Them placing fifth, man. Like just feels, just tough, man. But yeah, and then what else? X Team as well, bro. Why did bro? They really gave GD fourth place, bro. They don't want X Team to get money, bro. It's so fucking funny. It's so funny to me. Omni, best roster change in all IDV history, bro. It's whatever. They really just wanted the money so bad. I Omni right now, cause it's kind of low-key pissing me off. Like I'm still pissed cause PRR lost. I think I was I had the greatest Group C prediction. I put FENNEL first. Not a lot of people put FENNEL first. I put ZQ second, which to be fair, is very possible. Like, and then ACT third, and I get that all right. And then Omni wins against PRR and fucks up my predictions because I had PRR fourth. And it's so annoying. And this team is just utterly, I mean, I don't know what to feel about this team anymore. Honestly, I don't know what to feel about Omni anymore. They are so, it is, I think I've talked about it in a prior stream. I think Omni's entire like drama. It isn't even about lays and fluff, which to be fair, it is a big part of it. But I think a more important part is just the lack of trust that you can give to Omni after the situation happened. Like, because they tried to, right? I'll just talk about it again, I guess. But they tried to cover it up, right? And then they get caught, and they get called out by, I think, Zeus in the midst of it all. And then they apologize. And then they were like saying that they're gonna disband after COA. Now look at what they're doing. They're finding players for their team. What are we talking about? At this point, you can't trust a word they're saying. It is just you can't trust this team. They're just like it just feels very disingenuous. Real talk, it just feels very disingenuous. I like it would have been better if they just didn't say anything at this point. Cause at this point, right? Oh my God. I think the one when they announced that they were finding survivors, that's when I just knew, right? Just cause we can make the argument. We can real talk about this. We can make a real argument that like, okay, maybe Omni will change, maybe Omni will be better. But that was under the guise that Omni would disband as well. But then they didn't. And so now it's kind of like, well, you now lied twice. So, like, genuinely just quite concerning, honestly. Quite concerning that this has happened. It is honestly diabolical. But yeah, like I find it absolutely I don't know. I wouldn't I would say it's just trust was broken in the process. That's the main thing you have to understand about this drama. That's why, like as I mentioned, I probably won't be making videos about this team. When Omni won against PRR and when Omni was getting close in some of those matches, like someone was asking me like, will you make a video about it? And I'm like, no, I don't want to platform this team. I don't want to give this team like even if they win the entire thing, I want to make a video about it because I just don't think that team deserves a platform. I just don't think a team like that deserves to be platformed. I just don't. Especially now, because like they then proceeded to just go back on their word about disbanding. That is not good. Yeah, like it's just disappointing. Honestly, real talk. Because everyone asked me. Because I did see that tweet. But yeah, on me as well. Like I do hope that a new team rises very soon. Because right now it's just not. I mean, I do want change. I do think though it's very interesting because this drama I think also really puts a very clear image. Um, there was a lot of people that was talking about why does the Chinese viewers and the Japanese viewers not care? Um, and instead of trying to explain why, because I don't think there's a good reason why, I think we need to think of it kind of on the reverse way. And to like give an example. So for example, because I think this is a great parallel. So for example, if you remember last year, there was a Korea's representative was ZZZ, and no one like everyone in Korea hated this team, or a lot of people in Korea hated this team because the team had um, allegedly drew some of their COA matches on purpose to ensure that other teams cannot get as much points as they did. That is, I'm putting allegedly because I'm not 100% sure now. I'm not sure if there's new evidence, but at least at the time I saw this, there was evidence that they did match throw. But yeah, I did see it, and it was like, Korean fans were mad. But if you look at it on like the NAEU side, there were a lot of fans of ZZZ. And so I think at the same time, like the way I view it, the way people put at it, but like because very different situations, but I think it's a more general discussion that you have to people tend to only care about the region. If you ask the average any EU fan whether they're aware of Jelly's like drama, whether aware of Malm's drama, was it Malm? Yeah, it was Malm. Whether aware of the former players' drama, a lot of these people will tell you not. And that sucks, right? That absolutely sucks. And that shouldn't be the case at all. But at the same time, we need to hold everyone accountable, right? We need to hold everyone at the same level of scrutiny. It isn't just Omni, it's just everyone. And whether you're an NEU fan, whether you're a Chinese fan, just because they're not from your region doesn't really change the fact that they should be held to the same level of standard. Yeah. So like for me, that's how I view the situation because everyone's asking why do Chinese fans not care? Um, I think we should also like I think regardless of reason, there's never going to be a good reason for it for them not caring, right? But the best thing we can do is then ask ourselves whether we hold that same level of scrutiny to other region players. Because especially because like the people I see talk about, like this is just from my experience. The people I saw talk about the situation never bothers talking about the situation of other pro players that are being paid by organizations and their drama, right? So like it is also like very unfortunate. I try my best to avoid platforming those players as well. When I make my videos. Like I really try to be on the date on that. Like it's very delicate. I think I made a video. Did I make a video? No, I didn't. I had a script about a loss for like I think it was like a lot Omni losing. And I remember it was like I remember writing the script and it was like I never like it was a video that included Omni, but I never mentioned the team's name. It just like it's just there. I never made this video in the end. I think this was the same day that a really good match happened. I forgot if it was GG's match or like another match, but I just remember seeing it. I was like, yeah, I'll just make that video instead. That's just in my back burner right now. Yeah, yeah. I'm honestly, I think we need more people to be vocal about, the issues with Chinese players and, Korean players and Japanese players and et cetera, et cetera. Regardless of who it is, right? We need to have that same level of scrutiny. But I think reality is, and I think very unfortunately, that's just not the case. I do try my best to be that person though, and I really hope that people continue to be like that. But yeah, I personally don't like. It's not even just on me. I personally put that same level of this taste towards the other players as well. Um, I think what makes Omni's situation a bit different is that they're acting as an organizational entity. So if we were to look at like a team like Jelly and Mound, well, yeah, I mean, can you? I mean, in the end, it's like, well, you can't really blame the other players because they can't do anything. The ones that are signing them and putting them on the team are the organization, not the players at Wolves themselves. But like if you're a team like Omni, well, you're the one you're in the team. You're the one who now has you're the one deciding who's in the team and who's not. So you're kind of accountable in that regard. Why the hell is FunPlus Phoenix? Yeah, FPX ZQ. Fun plus Phoenix ZQ. I don't even know how to pronounce it properly. FENNEL over Zeta. Are they that good right now? God, okay. Random people went on the stream. Hello. Kinari, hello, Justice. Okay, FENNEL over Zeta. Are they that good right now? Okay, well, it's more of a preference. I put FENNEL over Zeta, but just to go back to it again, I put FENNEL over Zeta because FENNEL's biggest weakness as a team is IV, and Zeta doesn't really have that. FENNEL survivors have been really good outside of the IV losses, and FENNEL's hunters have been rather excellent in that regard. Meanwhile, Zeta, I mean, they have been pretty decent, but survivors can be somewhat inconsistent. We saw that in Zeta's match against B4U, and the hunters are also seemingly not as strong as we saw back in COA 8, which we saw between Zeta and MRC because the team was basically tying the entire time. And then the overtime match they were supposed to lose, they could have probably lost that, but because they wanted to cut time and just ensure that they win, they just straight up surrender and they just get the tie. But in the end, they still won the match, right? So, um, it was not Libao. I'll tell you that. I will have to hide that though. Zeke so bad nobody likes them. I'm just taking Wolves. I think a lot of people put ZQ over Wolves. I think I'm the only one putting Wolves over ZQ right now. Like I saw a lot of predictions putting ZQ over Wolves. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I was just looking at the wrong place. But I saw a lot of people putting ZQ over Wolves and like saying like, "Oh, ZQ sweeps this." And I honestly thought it for a while, but like honestly, the more I think about it, yeah, I think Wolves can possibly win that, especially since again that GG loss I think was very much contributed to the fact that they literally just decided not to ban Bon Bon. I don't know why. Put Wolves versus ZQ. Is RC over GR also preference? Kind of, but not really. It's also really close. The matches that are close, I'll show you the matches that are close. The matches that are close are RC versus GR. It is basically any of these matches are close. Oh, shoot. Whoops. I'll show you which matches are close. These matches are close. Basically, anything here is close. So these three will always be close matches regardless. Anyone can win here. I think Zeta versus FENNEL is going to be somewhat close, but not really. A lot of people have FENNEL over, but or sorry, a lot of people have Zeta over FENNEL. I'm just one of the few people that truly see FENNEL winning that. RC versus GR is also very close. I heard Access MRC. I don't think it's close. I think people are coping. RC versus MRC is very close, in my opinion. And GR versus MRC too is going to be close. But yeah, pretty much 50-50. ZQ top 4, only CNT there. That is diabolical. That is diabolical thing to say. ZQ, the second seed team over GR and MRC. That might be crazy. Yeah, RCGR is very neck and neck. A lot of people coming in actually. So do I have to re-explain my predictions again? I was just about to end the stream. MRC versus Axis is. I'm thinking whether that's close. That's no, I don't think that's close. Though I put RGR, I do wish RC would win. Well, if you wish RC would win, just put RC, because it's really 50-50, man. Like at least if you get the prediction right, or if you get the prediction wrong, well, you'll be like, well, it sucks, but like you believe in RC, right? And I also have RC winning the entire thing, so like, you know, there's that as well. But yeah, I mean, you might as well root for your favorite team. If it's a 50-50 matchup and it's like, well, and it could go any way, you might as well root for the team that you actually like. Just that's just my thoughts. But look at your server later. I posted it like current predictions. I can look at it now. Let's look at it now. You, I did. Let me look at it now. Hmm. Okay, okay. Oh my God, I saw Wolves make it to finals. Okay. Sorry, not Wolves make it to finals, but Wolves make it to semifinals. Okay, now that is, now that's hot. That's hot. It's a hot one. Zeta, yeah, RC. I mean, this is very, well, we can go over everyone's predictions right now, Loki. If you want to get send your predictions, feel free to send it in Discord, which I don't even know if it's in the description or not. If it's not in the description, then well, that's I guess unfortunate. Nobody has the dog to defeat RC Zeta and BO5 people. We'll see soon. I truly think Zeta will lose to FENNEL. I think RC will win the entire thing though. I truly believe RC will win the entire thing. But I think Zeta, people are overrating them. You know, we were talking about which team is overrated. I think Zeta is overrated, bro. I don't know, man. This team feels like they'll lose before the finals. I might be crazy. I think I'm also just being safe because I put so much of the Japanese teams at first for the group stages, and they all backfired. Like I put RC first, right, in Group A, Weibo Gaming. I put uh I put Axis first in Group B, which was super bold, and that absolutely backfired. FENNEL didn't backfire, which is great. And that was actually the one I was the most worried about. And then I put Zeta first in Group D, and that didn't work out so well for me either. I don't give a fuck if Zeta's overrated, Zeta Glaze. I think the most underrated team right now is whoever comes from the ZQ Wolves Weibo Gaming bracket. That is the underrated team. Whoever it is, whoever wins between ZQ and Wolves is probably the underrated team. and they could make it to finals. Like who between those two? I'm picking Wolves. I didn't predict that, but I think that it's very possible that it happens that like if I put Wolves into the like finals right now. Low key. We are trees for frauds. GR always top IVL regular season but never win anything. That is true. That is true. Well, I didn't put GR, did I? I didn't put GR in the semis. I had RC beating them. So honestly, yeah, trust me on that. Low key. But yeah. What else? I think if ACT beats Axis, I actually can see ACT beating MRC all of a sudden. I don't know. Because I feel like it would take crazy amounts of skill to beat Axis if you're ACT right here. If ACT beats Axis, that might be an upset. Because I feel like I'm so sure about that. Outside of Reject B for you, right? I'm so sure about ACT losing against Axis that if it doesn't go like that, it is gonna be diabolical. Wolves are not underrated. I genuinely think after they placed third and won one tree and then tied the entire thing, I think everyone's sleeping on them. ACD is horrible in BO5. I know. That's why I like. That's why I feel like it's diabolical that happens. I wasn't underrated at some point, but like now, because like after everything that happened, it's like everyone's like just not putting Wolves high anymore. I know it's like two characters. That is fucking true, man. Oh man, Z9, please don't bring out the Bloody Queen, bro. We cannot get four escaped again. I don't want this shit. But yeah, um, MRC ZQ is gonna, or sorry, Wolves ZQ is gonna be close. Um, I'm almost certain that there is a chance that whoever wins that match can go to finals. Because I really, really am on the Zeta is overrated train right now. And if Zeta proves me wrong, that's great. Get the back to back. But like if I'm right, then I'm right. Well, beat one team and it was an amateur. Yeah, but the GG should have been a one. Okay, that's the thing though. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like after they only won one game, now people are just putting them really low. But the GG match should have been a one win, honestly. If they just ban Bon, I can see it. They either win, they either treescape it, or they either just go to overtime. Like they had Fire Investigator too. I don't get it. Like they had Fire Investigator as well. That counters Peddler. Why did they just not? Why did they just ban Bon instead of Peddler? Who wrote that, bro? Who thought of that, bro? Wells had the most popular IDV player, but he turned out to be boss. But God, Wolves, man, you dysfunctional ass team, bro. But yeah, I'm putting it. I'm putting it. Wolves right now. Maybe this should be called "It's Wolves or Nothing." Maybe I should change that title right now. It's Wolves or Nothing! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! The way I'd be talking about Wolves right now. But yeah, it's Wolves or Nothing, guys. It's Wolves or Nothing. And JLK reveal. It's just I don't know if you guys saw the picture with I think it was Hasha and Alf. This is still one of the funniest pictures I've seen. Cause then I think it was like Soba on like the side, like I'm having like just straight up like screaming like the fucking face of Soba, bro. Got me fucking dead. That is such a meme worthy picture, bro. I think this Chai and Yan and Dongsha are very similar level hunters. I do agree. I think that's very true. Chai is I think Chai is proficient. I think he's just not. Yeah, I mean, I agree it's not as proficient, but I still think he's super good. Like, I don't think anything will go bad regardless. Dunkster is also same level, yeah. No, I agree with that. Strongest hunter in the world right now is Bailu. Ooh, I'm gonna disagree. I still think it's Jin. I still think Jin clocked it, honestly. Jin won a you I feel like you can't say MRC Bailu when he had to face Seta and then three weak ass teams, bro. Three weak ass survivor, two weak ass survivor teams. No offense to them. Three very botched survivor teams. I just, I just, I just feel like that can't be right, especially after they did like like I don't know Bailu right now. Like MRC is good, but it's not because Bailu's a carry. Like the team is very balanced. Jin is only getting three kills? Yeah, but like that's all he needed. Like Jin only needed three kills, but like at the same time, he was getting three kills from games that he should have tied. So honestly, I'm fucking taking it. And also he was doing it against better survivors. Like Bailu was doing it against B4U survivors, Alex survivors, and RT survivors. Bailu Jin was doing it against Axis survivors. He was doing it at Wolves survivors, X Team survivors, and I guess GG survivors, but we don't talk about them. Jin is just better, honestly, for me. Jin is just better. I don't Bailu when MRC won against GR, I don't think it was because of Bailu. I just think it was MRC had better survivors, and in the end, it just paid out better when Hunter fatigue started to set in. Bailu's a great hunter, don't get me wrong, but I still think Jin is better. For me right now, funnily enough, should I say that? Nah. I feel like it's Jin and then Akka. My third, I'm not so sure. I put Peter, but right now, after recently, I'm not so sure. Maybe Peter could have been top three, but not now. Not now, no. I feel like Hasha, but like I can't remember how well Hasha performed. Before you survivors are better than X Team. Who are you? Oh my God, that's rage bait. That's rage bait. That's rage bait. You lying. You lying. We are not. We're before you survivors better than X Team. You cannot, bro. No, 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 no. We're going back. Backtrack. Backtrack. Hold on. Before you survivors better than X Team. Better than fucking X Team, man. Nah, that's disrespect. X Team survivors are solid. Their BP is cheeks though. They kept going this cheerleader thing. I just don't think that was working so much. I don't think that was working at all. But like, yo, better than B4U survivors. We gotta be. Nah, 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 nah. Backtrack there. We gotta backtrack there. We gotta absolutely backtrack there. Holy smokes, bro. You, dude, wait, hold on. Let's check it right now. Let's check it right now. Let's check the stats. Liquipedia. Show up. Log in. Get right here. Oh my God, this is lagging so bad. Bro, nah. I didn't think Leon would get scouted after this season. He is absolutely getting scouted, but doesn't he still have university in Europe? Am I not tripping? Aka's number one for me. Well, honestly, that's totally fine. I still think Jin is number one for me. And I'm not even like the biggest GR fan. I just really like Jin. COA. Here we go. Come here. Well, let's look at the stats, guys. Let's look at the stats. They they got cooked by Bailu. They got cooked by Jin. Or sorry, not Jin. They got cooked by Bailu. They got cooked by Zeta's Hunters. It was I think 3K, 3K, 4K, 4K. Was it? Or was it? Did that other game? I think should have been a 4K. The QS game, but I think there was like a bug thing that happened because there was a pause right after. No, but I don't know. But like it felt really weird that that happened. Peter couldn't close the fucking cipher for some reason. Yeah, But yeah, like if we go back here, where's B for you? Come here, B for you. RT, they were losing to Nightmare Yuzupon. Did you see Nightmare Yuzupon? Did you see the game? You didn't see the game. If you think Nightmare Yuzupon, they should have tree escaped, but they got pied for some reason. Bro, Nightmare Yuzupon, bro. Then yeah, where is it? Oh yeah, 3K from Zeta. Um, where's their MRC match? They got absolutely cooked. Yeah, 4Ks from MRC, and then the match between LX that they tied against their Ivy, which is good. But then they got three killed by the clerk. I think that was almost four kill too, if I remember it properly. Better than better than X team. Better than X team. You have to be lying. Better than X team. We are bro, you bro, what is X teams right now? Why is X team's matches not showing up? Hold on. Oh bro, it's because it's just written as X. Better than X team. Better than X team. X team was not that good either, but like God, better than X team though is diabolical. They tree escaped. Well, that's GG though, so I don't think that counts. Let's look at it. Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah, they did. They tied against Axis. Tied against Axis Hunters, guys. Come on. They did well against Wolves as well. Oh, they tied twice. Bro, better than X team. Better than X team. You gotta be tripping. You gotta be tripping. I genuinely don't think that's the case. X team gets nerfed by the fact they keep running cheerleader every game. X team is too stable. It's totally fine, bro. You're totally fine because Yumeng is like so goated, bro. Dude. B4U survivors, all they need is to be stable. Spritzer can 4K anyone. Spritzer can win against anyone he wants to. He's probably the top. Oh, well, there's. I guess Spritzer could be the top tree hunter right now. Spritzer can win against anyone, bro. Spritzer can win against anyone. They need to be stable. B4U needs to be stable. They don't need to go for wins. They just need to be stable. They can't do that. I'd rather be X Team survivors with Spencer than Kid B4U survivors, bro. I'm fucking crying. I'm crying. All right. Yeah, one last time. One last time. Okay. Sorry. I will Today we will be telling you why X Team survivors are better than B for you. So, X Team survivors are better than B for you for a couple of reasons that I've already mentioned. But to just add a few more, this team can tree escape. We saw that in their match between Zoo and the round two. Was it first or second half? First half, Arms Factory, non-sap plays Goatman and gets tree escape by X Team. So they can win. And Zoo isn't a sleeper team either. Let me just say, Zoo is not a sleeper team. This team could have qualified over GG. Very much possible. Team also tied. If them tying against, did they tie against Jin? I don't remember. If them tying against Axis Survivors, them tying against um Axis Survivors, them tying against Wolves' Hunter, sorry, Axis Hunter, Wolves' Hunter, and what do you call this? What was the other team that they faced? GG's Hunter. Even winning against GG's Hunter is not enough. Um, they also tied against Nyanya's Hunter back in COA qualifiers, as well as GW's Hunter, which, to be fair, GW didn't qualify in the end, but the fact that X Team even beat GW was an upset on itself. Did my mic get killed? Hello? Okay, well, what happened to my mic? Um, It's the for before survivors are garbage. That's just crazy. It's just crazy take. It's just an insane take to me. It is just insanity. You can't say that after X Team. It isn't about before survivors being bad, honestly. You can even debate whether they're bad or not. I just personally think it is crazy to say that when X Team was doing a great job against the likes of Cho-Ai, Axis' Hunter Core, and I guess GG, but I mean, really depends on how you look at GG, and even Weibo Gaming, GW, and Zoo. It is crazy to say that, bro. It is crazy, honestly. Absolutely diabolical. Don't hate on my goats. Don't hate on my X Team goats. Those guys are very cool. Alright. Before you survivors do what they need to do. Are they doing what they need to do? That is the question. But X Team does it better. Right, we just talked about stability. X Team is a much more stable survivor team. If let's say X Team survivors were with Sprinter, they would be winning so much because X Team can just consistently tie. Also, this doesn't cover the fact that I personally think the ban picks of X Team had not been doing them many favors. Again, I just mentioned the cheerleader stuff. I still don't know why they keep running that shit. Do you think Weibo has potential to win? Against a Japanese team in a BO5? I mean, that's tough. I just put them over FENNEL simply because FENNEL, they have Ivy, which is Weibo Gaming's, like, Weibo Gaming has their kryptonite, FENNEL's kryptonite, basically. But for the most part, I mean, they could. I just think it's very unlikely over RC. And if Zeta qualifies over FNL, even over Zeta too, over MRC as well, I mean, they're not gonna be that. The cheerleader was goated. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong then. I just don't think it was ever that good. Maybe remembering the wrong game. I mean, there was this thing that I learned though. It was like they kept running the cheer. I think it was like cheerleader professor. I really like that interaction personally when they're doing that PP. It's just so unique, but it's so like also like crazy. It's just crazy to run that. And they were running, I think, they were running some of the cheerleaders in first round too. So that was just like, well, the Goatman is fucking there. I think winning FENNEL Weibo Gaming. I mean, you can assume that, but that's why I'm putting FENNEL on Zeta because I think Zeta is overrated. People have expectations for B for you. It's just because some the X team, man. Don't hate on X team, bro. My X team cannot handle this standard. I don't think anyone has a lot of hopes for B for you. B for you, I think if they beat Reject, it is gonna be their biggest upset. Even the Zeta ones and MRC matches will get those won't be even considered upsets anymore if they win against Reject, because Reject is the upset, bro. Zeta will lose to TE. It's possible, but I think Zeta versus TE feels like just RC versus TE. And if you heard what I think it was like, I'm not sure if it was a commentator or someone, a restreamer, Chinese restreamer, bro, the way they basically just go on that PE like RC was just a better team. That just feels like Zeta versus Trace Esports. Zeta is just a better team. Like even if Zeta throws, it's like they have to throw a cataclysmic amount to lose to a team like Trace. Just because the skill gap is just so different. I genuinely get so pissed off when people keep saying B4 can win against Zeta MRC just because of IVS. Yeah, I think it's just not good. I mean, it's not good to have those expectations, right? You can be a fan of B4 and say like, I want them to win against Reject, but saying that, they will win against Reject or they're favored to win against Reject is gonna be diabolical. If you want to root for B for you need to understand they're the underdogs, right? Fart? I think that was just the fucking chair right now, look here, because I was adjusting it. Anyways, going back. So where was I? Um, yeah, I mean Zeta versus Trace Esports just feels like Trace Esports is gonna it's just a worse team. It's looking embarrassing Southeast Asia lost to be for you. I mean, Southeast Asia or RT, because RT right is a team that lost to be for you, didn't have their fourth survivor and had Jala play, who was a hunter main. It's just not, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Maybe if they had their other survivor, it'd be a lot closer. Because they were getting a lot of good matches. But yeah. Using one tournament as a reference is not it. I personally agree as well. I feel like you have to understand. Again, going back, you have to understand that B4U is the underdog. Like you can't come in and be like, yeah, B4U is gonna win, guys, because they won COA or they won IVS. They got to third place. Like, can't believe you think T has no potential to be a 3, but FENNEL beats a Zeta in BO5. I truly think I would believe in Trace Esports if that reject game never happened. Like, am I tripping? Like, I would believe in Trace Esports if I think if that reject game never happened. But ever since when that reject game happened, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think RC and MRC is going nuts, but I see GR versus MRC. What do you mean? RC, MRC RC and MRC is going nuts. The 177 peak height, exactly. Like, I also feel like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like Zeta and Reject are very similar models, if that makes sense. Basically trying to say that, like, Because I think Zeta's Reject's best player right now in their Survivor roster is Unp, and Zeta's best player right now in their Survivors is Kazaneko. They're both Ferrazers. Like it is just almost like that's why it feels like same concept. Of course, they're very different though. But like I feel like if Reject's getting cooked by Unp, who is really really good, I feel like the same thing's gonna happen, but with Kazaneko. Like it just feels like it's so inevitable. It is so inevitable. It feels so inevitable that it happens. Like that's why I feel like Zeta TE is like so like I don't know because I literally like maybe I'm just tripping, but like when I see Zeta TE, I just see RC versus TE. I just imagine that match, but it's like Zeta players. Who do you think is representing IDV China in Asian games? No clue. I was hearing a lot of rumors. I think Persica is there. I also think Hu Yi was there. Was Hu Yi there? Wait, no, no, sorry, not Hui Yi. AK was rumored to be there. Jin was also rumored. Like, it's so Rejects can put the near in the airport. But yeah, I don't know who's representing IDV in China or Asian games in the Chinese team for Asian games because I'm not Chinese. But I mean, there were a lot of rumors. I think I'm almost certain Persica and AK is gonna be there. Especially since the other one contesting, I think, AK slot was Jelly, and after the drama, yeah, nah, Jelly's not getting that shit. Call me crazy. Piece way more consistent, honestly. Anpi has been amazing since COA 5, yes. Anpi has always been amazing. Anpi has always been great. I think everyone who follows Anpi knows that. Everyone who has followed Anpi for a long time knows that. Anpi has always been one of the most insane players we've seen. I think it's just because I don't even remember what happened to Umpy after Co 5. Like, I think it's just that. Like I don't know what happened to Umpy after Co 5. Like yeah, because Umpy used to be with Casadecco in SST, and then after SST disbanded, I don't even remember where Umpy went. That said, like I don't know. It kind of just laid low. He was in FENNEL. Oh yeah, shit, you're right. Oh my fucking god, FENNEL, we are absolute chokers, man. We let this man walk. God, all to keep Sasori, by the way. All to keep Sasori and uh whatever. Nanako is better than yeah, Nanako is also just really good. Those three are like very close right now. Kazunako is just a bit inconsistent in my opinion. But like after the MRC match, it's like yeah, no, I just realized how close those three are right now. That's also why I still think TE is gonna lose to Zeta, because like if that's how they're doing against RC, imagine Zeta Division where they also have to deal with a harasser that's just as good. God forbid, man. It's gonna be absolutely tough. Yeah, like Zeta is yeah, I just think I still think that I can beat Zeta, but like, you know what? Whatever. I'm banking on that. I'm banking on that guess, by the way. It's crazy because I think prior to the SSD stuff, for me, Zeta had always been chokers. Like, I remember COA 6, this team didn't qualify, right? Was that COA 6? There was a COA they didn't qualify. Was that COA 5? Am I tripping? I don't remember. There was just like a COA where I was expecting them to qualify and they just didn't. I just don't remember if it was COA 6 or not. But it was like way back then. Who would be your players if you were to make the perfect IDD lineup? That is tough. That is tough. Okay, let me think about that. Let's get this notepad. Also, I wrote my notes here when I was doing here are the reasons why X team. But anyways, let me write it down. Okay, I got the notepad ready. Still has 0% win rate. Yeah. Yeah, the AL roster was super duper. Like I love AL, but like wow, that was like when they got picked up by Zeta. Back then it was even Jupiter, right? But like when I got picked up by Zeta, it was so inconsistent. But yeah, okay. Perfect IDV lineup? Like, okay, perfect IDV lineup. That's actually low key tough. And so we put survivors and we put hunters, right? Dude, wait, hold on. Uh, wait, I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking super duper. Okay, I feel like I will. It was funny because I was thinking I take Unp, right? If I were to make a perfect IDV lineup, I would want Unp and City on the team. But I don't remember which one of them, which one from RC IGLs. I'm pretty sure they don't even like didn't isn't the comps just flex for this team? I don't even remember anymore. Like, so funny because these two, I feel like City's a really solid rescuer. Rescuer is always a tough one to put because there's a lot of really solid ones in general. But I feel like City might be one of the more solid ones. Pichinami, Katsuki, Persik. Katsuki is crazy. I'm a FENNEL Glazer. I haven't even put Katsuki. What the Asian Games lineup? Oh, is that? Oh yeah, it is. No, that's not. The Asian Games lineup was who was okay. Umpi was there, right? There was also Mike. Oh yeah, RC Seti, and then you had Katsuki, you had Maiken. There's another one. You also had Soba. There we go. Right? You don't know what I think is a team for me? Like my team would be something like I would put AK probably. I'm like just thinking. I feel like Katsuki is crazy. Katsuki is so young though. I don't know if I would put him. Ahayuhina, yeah, yeah. Am I tripping? Do I just not? Am I just not ball more? Am I just not ball more? Like right now? Katsuki is really good though. I'm so glad Katsuki's in this team. Actually, real talk. So glad Katsuki's in this team. Is it crazy to say MRC watching right now here on piece at the AK watching? Am I tripping? On P and AK wouldn't work on the same team. That does make sense. But I feel like AK is a really solid IGL. That's why. Not at all. Don't make me do a lineup, bro. But I'm like super sure that I want to take like right. We should like I think Ump should be in the perfect IDV lineup, regardless of what happens. Right. Wait, Hunter wise though, I'm like pretty sure it's Jin and Akka. Am I tripping? Akka has a large character pool. Like Akka can honestly play round 3 to 5 if he really wants to, because he has actually such a diverse character pool. Wolves Port. That's crazy. Just their dual personalities, the boss. Okay, so what are we? I think this is the best I could think of. Like this is low key, like thinking no language barriers. Like this is the best I could think of. Maybe I would put Hamitu instead, and then I would switch I would put Persica instead. But like A team of four Sans clears every team. That is kind of crazy. But yeah, this is my lineup. If I were to make a perfect IDV lineup right now, you know, we should probably do like a game. Like that'll be a game. We can do a game. I don't know if you guys know this thing where it's like, well, do we have a? Oh, we don't have a table where it's like you have like $15 and like you make the best team you can make. Talking about him. Oh my God, so they know where he lives. They know where the boss lives. They're not letting this man run away. Great God. Needs to be reprimanded on causing all the 15. I feel like that'd be crazy. Cause like is Anpi you have to think there's Anpi, there's Nanako, and then there's also Hazuneko. So like who cost what? They all cost $15? Yo. Yo, this shit, this reminds me, bro. It's crazy how terrible, like, how controversial MRC's rescuers were. Because, right, Shao X had some drama. And then prior to that, I think, yeah, Sing H had drama. And then you also had Love Left before. Holy shit, Love Left, man. How are you so, dude, that guy is crazy. Why is Aaron in Smurf server? Because he's cool. Shout out Aaron. He's definitely not watching, but like shout out Aaron. All $15 on Chin right now. We'll don't worry, guys. We'll probably like I'll invite one of you guys to a podcast so that you guys will like make a character with $15. We should like do like kid. That'd be hilarious though. TZYM. I feel like there no. I know who's worse. Annie as the hunter. Oh my God, it's over. It's actually over. If that is the lineup, bro. Absolute, absolute buns, bro. All 15 on Prime Shot Eye. That'd be crazy. I'll make that one day. I'll make that one day. But yeah, I'll be stopping the stream though. Do the worst lineup? Worst lineup as in like just bad people or like or like people that the OG Aka. I don't think so. Okay, wait. So like bad people as in like controversial people, or like bad people as in they just are like terrible at the game. They already made it. They're ahead of me, bro. They're ahead of me. The survivors. Okay, let me think. Okay, and then hunters. Okay, well we already know that we're taking Anyi, and then we're also taking TZ. I feel like there's someone worse, by the way, but I just can't think of who of other hunters that got into drama. Well, I already know who I'm actually taking. Love Left was the worst thing to happen, bro. Love Left is so bad, bro. Global for don't put God J in there. What did God J do? Yo, God J may not be that good, but God, I don't remember if God J had drama. That'd be crazy. Jelly, super rich. Oh you're right. You're fucking right. Oh my God, absolute insane pull. Thank you. The TVYM may be as as a coach. No. I'm gonna call him Weibo Gaming. Right? Weibo Gaming. Doyin Man. Yeah. Why does it keep doing that when I why does it why does this space keep getting larger? I don't know why he keeps doing that. God, cause he's ass. But isn't wait? Am I tripping? I thought Malm was a fucking rescuer though. But we have two rescuers at this point. Oh wait, no, I forgot. No. Malm isn't a rescuer. It's was it Li Bao? Li Bao, right? No, it's not Li Bao. I don't think it's Li Bao. Is it Li Bao? Yeah, I think it's Li Bao. Yeah, Malm, Wolves, Jelly, and like who else? Hua. Bro, I don't even remember where Hua is from. Oh wait, no, I know. I know who's an actually badge coach. LZX. Oh my god, yes. Yo. Yo. Yeah, no, I meant Li Bao was the rescuer of TE. Not we're putting him on this team. No. No way we're putting the for hitting in the Oh, the PX match shit had happened. Oh my god. That did happen. Yeah, LZX as the coach. Let's go. And then I guess we'll put Hua Hua. I think Hua Hua is TE. I don't honestly remember at this point. I don't know. I don't remember this guy. You know what? Let's actually think of a team that, they're not bad people, they're just bad. Let's think of the no, I won't call them bad. Let's think of the most average team we could think of. This is in no offense, by the way. Let's just think of players that if I told you they competed, Jellyfan's gonna get your ass. XW, yeah. Holy that guy also fucking sad, bro. I don't even. Okay, average players? No. Let's keep it to the pro players, cause like if it was average players, bro, I'd pull up something like, oh, Pablo ZG. Sorry, shout out to that guy, cool person. But like, cool person, I actually don't know. I don't know if he had drama, but like, I mean, I don't have qualms with him. Let's make it difficult. Let's find people that have competed professionally before. I already know who I'm gonna put on the hunter. FPX Rabbit. Oh, I remember this dude. This guy. This guy is so. We love you, Slice. Yeah, you're seeing me dog on random COA players, bro. I don't even think people remember who Rabbit is. This was Dark Ages. This was Dark Ages. This was Rabbit got done 30. Dude, yo, if BO1 is Zeki's best hunter, I don't know what the rest were doing. You had Rabbit, you had three hunters, Rabbit, Sleepy, and BO1, and somehow you yo, Rabbit is the funniest player, bro. BO5 Yan on his reverse prime. Nah, but if I say Yan, it's like, oh, you know who that guy is, right? Like gotta be someone that if I tell you, oh, this guy competed before. You'd be like, who the fuck is that guy? Like that has to be the shit we go for. More so, what the hell are we doing? We need a GA survivor, but we gotta do pro players only. We're doing Sleepy. Who's the worst? Rabbit or Sleepy? We're shit versus ass, bro. Like I don't know, don't know what we're doing, bro. Shit versus ass fucking conversation. Yeah, Rabbit. Like, bro. I'm sorry. Okay, I got a real question, and this is in no offense to anyone in Call of the Abyss, but like, dude, Rabbit is like Rabbit versus Sleep is shit versus ass, bro. I don't even. Oh, do we go for ZQ Fulan when Fulan was in ZQ, the spy from GG. God, Fulan. Fulan had the hardest drop off after leaving GG. XMX went on to get Survivor MVP. Fulan, Alex, why for me? Oh shit. You're right. You're right, bro. We are getting the shit, man. Oh my God. LXY is, bro. That shit is so like, I don't even remember that guy. That's the thing. Scar. Yo, wait. Here's the thing. I don't know Fulan. Okay, Fulan I know is a support. Who the fuck does LXY play? Who the fuck does this guy play? The thing is, people know Fulan, but also like ZQ Fulan was so. Oh my God, he was so good at some point, and then after leaving GG, bro, it is that guy is a spy from GG, bro. After all the drama as well, oh my fucking God. Definitely a spy. Like, actually, Fulan, bro. I, Fulan. I don't even remember LXY. Who did LXY play? Like, actually, who did LXY play? Do we even know who LXY played? Who did this guy play? We gotta make sure the roles are concrete, you know? Like, we can't put like five rescuers at the same time. I wrote entire pages of hate against him. Yeah, bro. Fulan was not it. God. I miss ZQ Dark Days. ZQ Dark Days were some of the worst, bro. Oh my God. The fact that there are two ZQ players here tells you more than enough. Was he a hunter? Rabbit? No, Alex Y is a survivor, no? This NAE count? I mean, gotta be pro player. Cause like if it's NAE, bro, we gotta find the most random people, bro. Alex Y is a survivor, though. I don't even. Who does Alex White play though? Who the whatever. We'll figure it. We'll just want ZQ Dark not even. I feel what pissed me off about ZQ so much was like the way they problem solved issues on their team is that instead of like finding new talent, they were like, yeah, let's side four wash dudes and pray to fucking God it works. ACTG. Oh my God. Do we? Oh my fucking God. No, we gotta go. We gotta go. If we gotta go FESZQ, FESZ, AFUZQ, AFUZQ. The hell ever from AFUZQ. This is three different ZQ players, bro. Three, three different ZQ players, by the way. Oh my God. Dude, I am fucking fried. What's funny? TX. He's not even bad. He's like just the most average player. Like this guy, whenever I see this guy, it's like, wow, he is very average. Like I can't like hate the guy, but like, wow, he is so average. He doesn't do anything impressive, but he isn't a thrower either. Zeke, just whatever the fuck Zeke you had is in this team now. Here you go. This is the team. Because ZQ keeps signing watch players. Dude, look at how good ZQ is now. You wanna know why they're so good? Like their players are a lot newer, bro. Outside of like Symes, outside of Dongsha, And then I think I forgot who else. There was one more. Why am I forgetting? Why am I blanking? What the fuck? Why is TX there? Because he's like so average. Like I don't even have anything to say about this dude. TX. The coach, I mean, who is a very average coach? Do we just put that one guy, TE's like coach, for like 2 seconds before they brought back their old coach? Was it Gift? Was TE Gift their coach? I don't even remember. The coach that like they got him for 2 fucking seconds and they were like, yeah, bro, we need our old coach back. And they got him back. Was it? It was fucking this guy, right? I was tripping, and then they replaced them all with fucking. They replaced them with Alex too. So like, dude, the 5DF. Oh my fucking god, that's also honorable mention. The five, yeah. Isn't Gift a player? Wasn't Gift the coach? Am I tripping? Oh, it might be. It might have been DF then. Well, who was TE's coach? Right, TE had a coach, and then they got another coach. Was it not Gift? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Gift. This this is the team, guys. Look at how many ZQ players there are. Was it Gift rumored to encourage players to use beef on scrims? Yeah, because they were so fine, and then they started washing the most they started signing the most washed up players, bro, in like the entirety of like fucking COA. Like it was so pissing off, bro. Especially when like you realize that like the best teams at the time were starting to get newer players. Like this, it was so annoying, bro. And ZQ probably had the money as well. And it's like, but like no, they were like they kept signing random like people that like got dropped because they were fucking like they sucked at the game now. Full on, literally the most washed up player, bro. I can't, bro. Full on is probably the biggest drop off ever, bro. Remove TX and put GR0, but GR0 is doing decent right now. To be fair, compared to TX, I mean, who else? Do we put fucking who else could like fit in this list? Low key. Do we put is Yin L? Oh no, what? There we go. Oh no, it's gone. Exactly. Very nothing burger guy. No, it's gone. Fuck. Whatever. Like 4 times this color, but he also cooked sometimes this color. 11. Hey, don't hate on 11, but like, yo, he is average. I'd actually, but like, if we're not playing zero, I'm gonna put 11. But also, isn't Sing H a rescuer? Am I not tripping? Or was this, or is it because Zeke is Sing H? Yeah, right. That is our average ass team. This MIDI contest list, well, we could. I don't want to low key do the edit use how these Asian players, bro. I might get beefed on, bro. I'm not gonna hate on people that don't get paid to play this game. All right, we don't hate on the people that don't get paid to play this game. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're not getting fucking contracts to play the game and compete at the highest level, bro. So, don't hate on them, bro. Don't hate on David's delights. Elite ball knower. We could put Yin Aldo. I'm kidding. Rival's a pro team though. but that was like rival. Okay, I guess it's rival Schmitty. What the fuck? Full on won a championship. Think about that. Think about the fact that Full on won a championship. Think about think about the fact Full on was a champion, bro. Yin L ruined B for you. Untrue. So untrue. Um the if you did you if you watched the very hour-long interview, Anton credits a lot of B4U's improvement from the fact that they had Yin. Disrespectful to the Chinese currency. What the Chinese currency might be crazy, low-key. Chinese to the Chinese currency. Oh my God. But yeah, Yin L was a good like Yin L helped so much in what do you call this? In ensuring that they would get like the necessary like they would learn more about how China operates. It isn't really necessarily the strats. Albeit they didn't really get too deep into it in the interview because we kind of just briefly talked about it. But I'm assuming it's like the ethics, right? The ethic, the work ethic. Because here's how I view it. Like the way that what do you call this? The way that pro teams operate compared to non-pro teams is very different in the way that they work, in the way that they practice, on all of these things. And I think B for you may have learned so much just from that, from just having ZQ fucking Norsey. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, bro. If we wanted to make the most average team ever, it would just be ZQ full, like FPX ZQ full on, FPX ZQ, Norsey, FPX ZQ, uh, Xing H, who else? FPX ZQ, just all these ZQ players. All the ZQ players from their dark era. And then you also had like FPX ZQ Rabbit, FPX ZQ Sleepy, FPX ZQ Afu. Dude, dude, all ZQ, bro. All ZQ. But yeah. Yeah, zero, that's true. But honestly, Rabbit and Sleepy. Dude, honestly, real talk. How is BO1 better than like if BO1 is your best hunter in the team, there was something that happened. To be fair, BO1 was very solid, honestly. But holy shit, something happened. Must have happened. You must have done something wrong to have those two as that guy as your best hunter. Oh, we're looking at it on ZQ, right? Because that's why you're putting it as ZQ. So FPX ZQ, alpaca, alpaca. Like, look at it. You know what's crazy? This is just my theory. Like, that's also I think why MRC is so successful. Like, the fact that ZQ has an academy now. Like, I don't know how effective it has been, but I feel like it contributes a lot to ZQ's success. Honestly, just my thoughts about it. Like. I personally think it's just really useful to have an academy team. You just have a lot of young talent sprouting in. It allows you to practice more, like just so much. But yeah, Alex Y was first though. Yeah, Alex Y was first. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna officially end the stream this time because I did say that like 5 times now. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure. Um, yeah. Very fun stream. Hopefully I get to stream. I'll probably hope I don't know if I'll make the video on the color predictions. I'm kind of busy still. Oh, whoops. But yeah, thank you so much once again. I have enjoyed this so much being here, and I hope to see you guys next time. Don't worry, there'll be play videos on the playoffs. Don't worry. I was howling when he fired Sleepy B one round. It got dog shit. Yeah, bro, that was crazy. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna see you guys next time. All right, peace.